This is your homework helper, Mrs. Anderson. Today I will help you with Lesson 7, Compare Decimals. Please have your homework page ready and let's begin. Students, when you compare decimals, it's important that you line them up in a column so that you can see which numbers, so that you can easily see which numbers can be canceled. So here's the number 59 and 296 thousandths, and this is the number 59 and 6/10. But once it's been put in a column, zeros have been added as place markers, as placeholders, and we call that annexing a zero. We're just adding it on. Now that we have the same amount of digits, we absolutely have to make sure that the decimal is lined up. Now we can go through and say, oh, the 5s will cancel each other, the 9s will cancel each other. We have 2 and 6. 6 is the bigger number, so that means that 59 and 6/10 is larger than 59 and 296 thousandths. So we would write it like this, with the lesser than sign. The less than sign. And then remember that the bigger side opens up to the bigger number. So let's do a couple of these together, and then you can do the rest of these on your own. Here I have 3 and 976 thousandths and 4 and 7 thousandths. This one's actually pretty easy because if I look at the numbers in the ones column, I can already see which number is going to be bigger. So I will choose this number. Okay, so 3 and 976 thousandths is less than 4 and 7 thousandths. Okay, let's look at this one. We have the same amount of digits. What I'm going to do is write this number underneath. I'm going to do it as straight as possible, and then I can start to cancel out. I have to remember that my decimals have to be straight. I can cancel out my 9s. My 8s will cancel each other out. My 9s will cancel each other out. Now I have a 0 and a 1. I know that 1 is larger than 0, so that means this is the bigger number. So I'm going to make sure that my less than sign opens up to the bigger number here. Okay, there's that one, and you'll continue to work like that. Now, I'm looking for one. Oh, look at this one. This one has 2 digits on one side and 3 digits on the other. So I'm going to write them in a column, 2 and 7/10 and 2 and 82 thousandths. On this one, since there's nothing here, I'll put a 0 there, annex a 0, and now I can cancel those out, the 2's out, and determine which one is greater. Okay, you may push pause and finish this part, and then go ahead and turn it back on when you're ready for some more help. Okay, on to the back, we're doing some problem solving. In January, the average low temperature in Montreal, Quebec, Canada is 5 and 2/10 degrees Fahrenheit. The average low temperature in Cape Town, South Africa is 60 and 3/10 degrees Fahrenheit. Which city is warmer in January? So I'm going to need to look at the two numbers, decide which number is larger, and then look at the city that that number is talking about, and that's what I'll write here, is the city. Looking at the next one. In 1 year, Detroit, Michigan recorded 30 and 9/10 inches of snow, and Chicago, Illinois recorded 39 and 9 inches of snow. Which city had more snow? So look at the two numbers, decide which one is bigger, and then write down the number, write down the city that the number is talking about. Next one. George was weighed at the doctor's office. The scale read 67 and 20 hundredths pounds. The doctor wrote 67 and 2/10 pounds on George's chart. Did the doctor make a mistake? You're going to write yes or no, and then you're going to explain if he made a mistake or not. So after you write yes or no, I'd put a semicolon just to show that the answers are separate from each other. Okay, going to number 16. The two fastest time in the past 20 years for the girls' 200-meter run at Clarksville Elementary School are 27 and 97 hundredths seconds and 27 and 93 hundredths seconds. At yesterday's track meet, Claire ran 27 and 99 seconds. Was her time faster than either of the two fastest? Okay, and explain. You're going to determine if Claire's time was faster than either of these girls, the other two girls, and put a semicolon and then explain why or why not. Write if the following statement is true or false. Equivalent decimals are decimals that have the same value, true or false. Okay. Equivalent decimals are ones that, like, if I had 3 and 6/10, and then I have 3 and 60/100, these are equivalent. And then you write, do they have the same value? Okay. Which of the following symbols make the statement true? This is determine. They both have the same amount of digits, and they have starts with a tens place, so you'll be able to determine which one is correct. Thanks for watching this homework helper video. If you have questions, feel free to ask me tomorrow at school.